He barely speaks, yet the whole world laughs with him. But behind the silent comedy of Mr. Bean are secrets you were never supposed to know. Fact 1.
Bean.
Mr. Bean is inseparable from Rowan Atkinson, but he nearly never played him. The original idea for the character came when Atkinson was a university student. He performed an early version in a sketch at Oxford. Executives at Thames Television wanted a bigger star for the role. They feared Atkinson's physical comedy wouldn't translate to a full show. Atkinson fought to keep control of the character. He believed only he could bring the odd quirks to life. Eventually, his persistence won out. When the first episode aired, it drew millions of viewers. Critics praised Atkinson's unique style. The network quickly realized their mistake. Atkinson's performance turned a risky idea into a global hit. Had he stepped aside, Mr. Bean as we know him might never have existed. It was a gamble that paid off beyond imagination, and it proved that sometimes only the creator can embody a creation. Mr. Bean became his most iconic role, and it all started with Atkinson refusing to let go. Fact 2. Atkinson modelled Mr. Bean after classic silent comedians. Jacques Tati's Monsieur Hulot was a huge influence. So were Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton. Atkinson wanted a character who was funny without words. He studied their use of physical timing and visual gags. Mr. Bean's awkward body language came directly from this tradition. His humour worked across cultures because it required no translation. Atkinson once said Bean was a child trapped in a man's body. That simple description explained his universal appeal. The lack of dialogue forced creativity in storytelling. Directors leaned on facial expressions and props. This silent style made Bean unlike any other 1990s sitcom. It also made the show exportable worldwide. Countries without English speakers still loved it. Atkinson proved physical comedy never goes out of style. It was a deliberate throwback in a modern age, and it connected him to the great comedians of the past.
3.
Bingo!
Fact 3. Fans are often shocked to learn there are just 15 episodes. The series ran from 1990 to 1995. Each episode was meticulously crafted with elaborate physical gags. Atkinson believed quality mattered more than quantity. He didn't want to dilute the comedy by stretching it too thin. This is why episodes took months to write and rehearse. The show's limited run created an illusion of being much longer. Syndication and reruns made it feel endless. International broadcasters replayed episodes for years. The scarcity increased the show's value. Fans returned to the same episodes again and again. The short run also kept the comedy fresh. Every moment was carefully planned. Unlike many sitcoms, it never outstayed its welcome. The small number of episodes became part of its legend. It showed that sometimes less really is more. And it turned Mr. Bean into timeless comedy. Fact 4. Mr. Bean's lime green Mini is iconic, but producers originally didn't want it to be a recurring feature. Atkinson himself pushed for it. He felt the car reflected Bean's personality perfectly. It was small, awkward, and oddly charming. The Mini became a character in its own right. Entire episodes revolved around it. The famous parking scene was written just for the car. Fans came to associate Bean with the Mini instantly. The car became one of TV's most famous vehicles. Atkinson even drove it in live events years later. He personally owned several of the Minis used. One version is displayed in a British museum. Without Atkinson's insistence, the Mini might never have appeared. It became a symbol of the show's offbeat humour, proof that even props can become legends. And it showed Bean's world was built from little eccentric details. Fact 5. Before it debuted, executives worried it wouldn't succeed. A mostly silent sitcom seemed risky in the 1990s. They feared modern audiences wanted dialogue-heavy comedy. Atkinson and director John Howard Davies pushed forward anyway. The pilot episode aired on New Year's Day, 1990. To everyone's surprise, it drew over 13 million viewers. The silence became its unique selling point. Critics were stunned by its simplicity and charm. The BBC quickly commissioned a full series. Within months, it was one of Britain's most popular shows. Atkinson said the early resistance nearly killed the project. If the pilot had failed, the series would have ended there. Instead, it became a defining comedy of the decade. It showed that risk-taking can pay off, and it proved audiences still loved classic slapstick. The show rewrote the rules of modern sitcoms and changed Atkinson's career forever. Fact 6. Despite being British, the show reached every corner of the world. It was broadcast in over 190 countries. The lack of language barriers made it universal. Even places with little Western TV embraced it. In some countries, Bean was better known than the Queen. Atkinson toured worldwide performing live as the character. The show became a teaching tool for English learners. Its visual comedy transcended cultural boundaries. Children loved it as much as adults. It sold millions in VHS and DVD collections. The animated series brought a new generation of fans. Bean merchandise filled stores across continents. The global love surprised even Atkinson. He once joked Bean was the world's least likely export. It showed the power of simple visual humour and proved Bean was a truly international star. A British sitcom had become global royalty. Fact 7.
Mr. Bean, are you presently on any kind of medication?
Not that I know of.
After the last TV episode, Atkinson thought Bean had run its course. He didn't want the comedy to feel repetitive. Atkinson planned never to play him again. Fans were devastated at the thought, but global demand brought him back. Special episodes were made for charity events. Then came the feature films, Bean and Mr. Bean's Holiday. Both were international box office hits. Atkinson admitted he was surprised by their success. The films kept Bean alive for new audiences. Yet Atkinson remains cautious about overusing him. He says Bean is too simple to last forever. Even so, the character keeps returning. Each comeback feels like a special event. It's rare for a sitcom character to stay so fresh. Bean endures because he's timeless, and because Atkinson only revives him sparingly, keeping the magic alive by never letting it grow stale. Fact 8. In the Christmas special, Bean gets a turkey stuck on his head. It's one of the show's most iconic moments, but filming it was dangerous for Atkinson. The turkey was real and extremely heavy. He struggled to breathe inside it. The crew had to cut breathing holes mid-shoot. Atkinson powered through the discomfort for the comedy. The scene required multiple takes. Each time he endured the same ordeal. He later called it the worst day of my career. Yet fans hailed it as a classic. It remains one of the most replayed sitcom gags. Atkinson admitted he'd never attempt it again. The turkey nearly suffocated him on set, but his suffering created pure comedy gold, a scene remembered decades later. Sometimes great comedy requires great sacrifice, and this was the ultimate example.
Are you all right in there?
Yeah, it's fine, thank you.
Fact 9. Unlike many sitcoms, Mr. Bean used a live audience. Episodes were filmed in front of viewers at Teddington Studios. The laughter you hear is genuine. This added energy to Atkinson's performance. He thrived on the instant reactions. The crew carefully staged visual gags for maximum audience impact. Filming in front of a crowd also tested what worked. Scenes that didn't get laughs were rewritten. This gave the show its perfect comedic rhythm. Audiences often erupted into applause mid-scene. The energy was captured forever on tape. Atkinson compared it to performing live theatre. The show walked a line between sitcom and sketch comedy. The laugh track gave it authenticity. It reminded viewers they weren't alone in laughing. The format connected Bean with audiences directly and made the experience even more enjoyable. Proof that real laughter is always best.
The whole of their earthly lives together.
Fact 10. Atkinson wasn't always destined for comedy. He studied electrical engineering at Newcastle University. He later earned a master's degree from Oxford. Comedy was a side passion during his studies. He even considered becoming a full-time engineer. His technical mind influenced how he built comedy. Atkinson planned gags with precision like scientific experiments. Timing and movement were calculated to perfection. This analytical approach set him apart from other comedians. It gave Mr. Bean's physical humour incredible detail. Few knew of his technical background. It surprised fans who assumed he was a lifelong performer. Atkinson himself credits engineering for his comedy discipline. It proved creativity and logic can work together, and it showed how unexpected paths can lead to greatness. The world nearly lost him to science, but instead gained one of its greatest comedians. Bonus fact. Rowan Atkinson performed as Bean at the London Olympics. He joined a sketch with the London Symphony Orchestra. Atkinson played a single piano note repeatedly. The gag turned into a full Bean-style daydream sequence. It was watched by nearly 1 billion people worldwide. It introduced Bean to millions who'd never seen the show. Atkinson was 57 at the time, yet he slipped back into the role seamlessly. The sketch became one of the ceremony's highlights. Fans said it felt like seeing an old friend again. It was a reminder of Bean's timeless appeal. Atkinson later admitted it was one of his proudest performances. The Olympic cameo cemented Bean's place in pop culture history and proved his comedy could still unite the world.